Our story starts in a CCTV control center where two women discuss their new young coworker. He wears sunglasses indoors, maybe because he has no riz, which they find odd. Suddenly, they detect two robbers on the run. They notify their boss and quickly call the police. Everyone in the office tracks the robbers through the cameras, but they eventually lose sight of them. When hope starts to fade, the new employee shows them a clip of the robbers hiding in an alleyway. Thanks to his help, the police soon catch the robbers. The employee's name is Yo Jang-bu, and he has a rare genetic condition that allows him to see everything in slow motion. Using this ability, he sees where the robbers go, even though they are moving at high speed. Jang-bu first notices this condition when he is in 5th grade and participates in a relay race with his childhood crush, Bong-soo-mi. His parents take him to Dr. Sok, who diagnoses him with dynamic visual acuity, a rare disorder that enables him to perceive fine details in moving objects as if he's seeing the world in slow motion. To prove Jang-bu has the disorder, Dr. Sok throws a baseball at him at high speed, which he catches with ease. The doctor advises him to wear sunglasses at all times for comfort. After Jang-bu's diagnosis, his father flies to a foreign country to earn money for his treatment, leaving Jang-bu at home with his mother and younger sister. Jang-bu describes the disorder as both a blessing and a curse. While he can watch the wind move women's skirts in slow motion, he is bullied in school for wearing sunglasses. His only friend is Soo-mi, with whom he starts to fall in love. However, as time passes, Soo-mi is severely bullied for being his friend, and she eventually leaves him. Since then, Jang-bu has never had a friend. He wishes to lose his eyesight altogether and watches TV constantly. Although his vision doesn't worsen, he develops an obsession with K-dramas. He learns social skills from the actors in the dramas but never leaves the house to practice them. His father refuses to return to Korea, even during holidays, to save money. However, this effort goes to waste when his father dies in a workplace accident. After his father's death, the only person Jang-bu is close to is Dr. Sok. The doctor advises him to see the world outside his room and help his family with money. This prompts Jang-bu to start working at the CCTV control center. Jang-bu says he likes watching people on the screen because it reminds him of dramas. The only difference is that, in this drama, everyone is the lead actor. His coworker, Byung-soo, talks to their boss about Jang-bu's behavior, describing him as very introverted and not talking to anyone. Byung-soo promises to look after Jang-bu, recognizing his talent. Byung-soo sits beside him at work and tries to engage in conversation, but a shy Jang-bu answers all of Byung-soo's questions in his head and doesn't speak to him. While monitoring the cameras, Jang-bu seems to be counting how many steps people take to reach certain places. Byung-soo finds this strange but doesn't question it. In an attempt to socialize with him, Byung-soo asks if he has a girlfriend. This reminds Jang-bu of Soo-mi, so he visits her house the next day. Soo-mi has grown into a beautiful woman but faces financial issues. Her debt collector nags her to sell the house to pay off her loans. Jang-bu watches her from afar but is too scared to approach her. From that day onward, he watches her through the CCTV cameras daily, memorizing her routine. At night, she drinks soda in front of a coffee shop, so he does the same. He notices her eyeing an abandoned sofa on her way and drags it in front of the coffee shop the next day. Soo-mi notices the sofa but doesn't think much of it. The following day, she is stuck at a bus stop due to heavy rainfall. Jang-bu sees this on the monitor and goes to help her with Byung-soo. He holds an umbrella over her, mimicking a K-drama scene to rizz up the girl, but Soo-mi calls him a creep and walks away. Jang-bu and Byung-soo then visit Dr. Sok to ask for advice on how Jang-bu could impress Soo-mi. The doctor suggests Jang-bu give her flowers. The next day, Soo-mi is late for her musical drama audition. She calls the manager and begins singing in the middle of the road as her audition. As she sings a beautiful song, bystanders watch her in awe. Jang-bu arrives with a bouquet of flowers and hands them to her after the song, but Soo-mi is unimpressed. She tells him she would prefer a box of ramen and walks away. Jang-bu calls her name and finally introduces himself as her childhood best friend. However, she claims her name is Oh-soo-mi, not Bong-soo-mi. It turns out Jang-bu has been following the wrong woman all this time, yet he has started to fall deeply for her. That evening, they accidentally bump into each other, and Soo-mi makes Jang-bu carry her groceries. Before leaving, Soo-mi asks why he is looking for Bong-soo-mi. He replies that he used to like her in school. The next day at work, Jang-bu sees Soo-mi receive a phone call on the monitor. The person on the other end informs her that she has been cast in the musical. She jumps and dances in the streets as Jang Bu watches her on the screen. That night, Su Mi goes to celebrate at a local roadside restaurant. She notices Jang Bu watching her from outside and invites him in. As they talk, she shows him the musical script and practices her lines. Jang Bu compliments her acting and shows her a talent of his own. Soon, the entire restaurant watches as Jang Bu catches spoons thrown at him. The following day, Jang Bu walks around Su Mi's neighborhood while counting his steps. Byung Soo sees this and realizes Jang Bu is trying to memorize the routes. As Su Mi returns home, she finds Jang Bu waiting for her. They walk together, discussing various topics. She asks him about his job and learns that he works at the CCTV center, where he can watch people all day. They stop in front of the cafe that Su Mi always stares at. She reveals that she has a crush on the cafe's owner and gushes about him owning a car. A jealous Jang Bu stares at the owner for a long time. He decides to take her on a ride to impress her. He asks everyone at work if they own a car, hoping to borrow one, but none of them do. As Su Mi returns home, the debt collector approaches her, yelling and threatening to hit her if she doesn't repay the money. Jang Bu and Byung Soo arrive just in time and save her from the man. When Jang Bu returns to work, Su Mi yells, "Thank you," to one of the cameras, knowing he is watching on the other end. At the end of the day, they meet at a park and talk for a long time. Jang Bu asks what she would do if she owned a car, and Su Mi says she would drive to the sea every day. Since he cannot get a car, Jang Bu befriends a local bus driver by traveling with him all day. He had been watching the driver play baseball alone at night through the cameras. At the end of the day, Jang Bu joins him for a game and asks him for a favor. The next day, Byung Soo, the bus driver, and Jang Bu pick up Su Mi from the bus stop and head to Busan to visit the sea. Seeing his efforts to make her happy, Su Mi starts to like Jang Bu. However, their bus is stopped by the border police, who don't allow the local district bus to enter another district. An angered Su Mi tries to argue with the policeman, but Byung Soo calms her down. Despite their efforts, they have to return home without reaching the sea. Jang Bu's boss informs them about recent cases of women being abducted around town and asks them to be on high alert. Just then, Jang Bu notices Su Mi on a monitor, but she disappears shortly after. He panics and rushes to see if she is okay, only to find out she was trying to prank him to see if he would come. Su Mi takes off his glasses for the first time, and they finally kiss. Jang Bu takes Su Mi home, and she invites him in. However, their plans are ruined when Su Mi notices the debt collectors in her house. They throw her belongings around, threatening her to repay the money. Jang Bu tries to run to her but suddenly falls as his vision blurs. After the men leave, Jang Bu and Su Mi sit down to talk. In the pile of items thrown out by the collectors are drawings Jang Bu made for Su Mi when they were in school. Su Mi reveals she lied about being a different girl because she didn't want to be compared to her younger self. Jang Bu remains silent as Su Mi looks at the drawings, smiling. The next day, Jang Bu visits Dr. Sok and informs him that his vision has become blurry. It turns out his disorder has worsened over time, and he will soon lose his sight completely. Jang Bu has known he would eventually go blind, which is why he has been counting steps everywhere he goes, so it would be easier for him when he loses his vision entirely. While Jang Bu is troubled by his worsening vision, Su Mi is worried about her debt. She sells her house and gathers enough money to repay her creditors, but now she has nowhere to live. Jang Bu watches her on screen as she talks to a shopkeeper with a box of her belongings. Suddenly, his coworker notices a car suspiciously circling the same area. She looks closely at its license plate and realizes the car belongs to a kidnapper on the run. She notifies the boss, and the police are informed immediately. However, they lose sight of the car, and at the same time, Jang Bu loses sight of Su Mi. He panics and rushes to save her from potential danger. On his way, he completely loses his vision and crashes the bike. Byung Soo notices this through the cameras and runs to help him. Meanwhile, a strange man approaches Su Mi and grabs her arm. But before he can take her away, Jang Bu starts running toward them. The abductor flees, but Jang Bu nearly crashes into a bus. The police arrive and take Su Mi in for questioning. Now, Jang Bu is left alone in the streets, helped only by Byung Soo. He cries while holding his friend, devastated by losing his vision. Several days pass since the incident. Su Mi gets busy with her life and doesn't contact Jang Bu. She often looks at the CCTV cameras when she misses him. A few months later, she notices Jang Bu inside her favorite cafe. She happily approaches him and waves, but but she is shocked when Jang Bu pulls out his stick and walks the other way. She follows him around town and finally reaches an art gallery filled with paintings of her that Jang Bu has drawn. In a monologue, Jang Bu says that although he has lost his vision, he still remembers her. The next day, Su Mi follows him again, but this time, he asks her where she wants to go. She realizes he can sense her presence, and the movie ends as they hug.